everyone, and thank you for joining us for another Wisconsin State Resistance Report. I'm Sarah Liu with the Wisconsin Progressive Alliance. It's May 14th, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there today. Trump has fired FBI Director James Comey, citing his mistreatment of the Hillary Clinton email investigation. This directly contradicts Trump's earlier stance just after entering the White House, where he applauded Comey's efforts regarding the Clinton investigation. Trump seemed to contradict himself after the firing as well, as holes in the official release began to show themselves. White House spokeswoman Sarah Huckabee Sanders claimed that Comey had lost the confidence of the FBI. Acting Director Andrew McCabe states otherwise.
We've heard in the news that claims that Director Comey had lost the confidence of rank-and-file FBI employees. You've been there for 21 years. In your opinion, is it accurate that the rank-and-file no longer supported Director Comey?
No, sir, that is not accurate. I can tell you, sir, that I worked very, very closely with Director Comey from the moment he started at the FBI. I was his Executive Assistant Director of National Security at that time, and worked for him running the Washington field office. And of course, I've served as deputy for the last year. I can tell you that I hold Director Comey in the absolute highest regard. I have the highest respect for his considerable abilities and his integrity, and it has been the greatest privilege and honor of my professional life to work with him. I can tell you also that Director Comey enjoyed broad support within the FBI, and still does to this day. We are a large organization. We are 36,500 people across this country, across this globe. We have a diversity of opinions about many things, but I can confidently tell you that the vast majority of FBI employees enjoyed a deep and positive connection to Director Comey.
Thank you.
With the firing of Comey, all investigations into Trump's collusion with Russia are halted, and Comey's replacement is expected to be someone loyal to Trump, ensuring the investigations also are loyal to Trump. GOP lawmakers are concerned the firing of Comey will make their jobs harder as they face major backlash amongst their constituents. It certainly is a distraction, stated John Boozman, a Republican in Arkansas. The big question remains, what are these tapes that Donald Trump mentioned between him and Director Comey, and do they actually exist? Democrats and Republicans had differing reactions to the firing. Tammy Baldwin stated, "Russia attacked our democracy and the American people deserve answers. President Trump's decision to make this move tonight is an attack on the rule of law and raises more questions that demand answers." Appearing completely indifferent, Ron Johnson simply stated, "I thank Director Comey for his service and wish him well in the future." And of course, we can't leave out America's best friend, Paul Ryan, who stated, "The truth is that James Comey, who is a worthwhile and dedicated public servant, I think he had just basically lost the confidence of a lot of Republicans and a lot of Democrats based on his conduct and his actions, and some of the comments that he had made. And most important, he lost the confidence of the president, and it is entirely within the president's role and authority to relieve him, and that's what he did." In other national news this week, a reporter, armed only with a smartphone, was arrested when he tried to ask Tom Price whether or not domestic abuse would be considered a pre-existing condition under Trump care. When Price didn't answer, the reporter moved in closer, stating that if Price doesn't have an answer, to at least say no comment.
He said he was using his phone as a recording device to try to catch Price's response to one of his questions, but apparently he got his phone too close. Hyman was taken into custody for willful disruption of governmental processes.
The journalist was promptly handcuffed and taken away, where he was charged with causing a public disturbance by yelling questions, which came with one misdemeanor count of willful disruption of governmental processes. He spent 8 hours in jail before his news agency finally paid the $5,000 bond. In state news, Scott Walker has expressed his concern over separating state road costs from the budget. The plan was to separate roads funding in order to come up with a plan the Republicans could get backing on from the Democrats. The state budget would then be voted on separately, which is not expected to have much, if any, Dem backing. Senator Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald stated it was hard enough getting the backing of one bill, let alone two. He also sides with Walker on not pulling road costs from the budget. Walker's proposed solution to the crumbling infrastructure is to borrow $500 million and delay major highways projects. We may be headed towards toll roads in the near future. Our adopted district has begun to take off across the country. Most notably and locally, Mark Pocan adopted Paul Ryan's district with a town hall meeting in Kenosha. Ryan was invited but failed to attend. District 1 constituents were happy to have their voices heard by Pocan after going 582 days without a public town hall from Ryan. Other members in Congress have also moved into districts where the GOP representatives are nowhere to be found. Ruben Gallego of Arizona and Sean Patrick Maloney of New York have also held town halls outside of their district. The goal with this new practice is to show Republicans not holding town halls how democracy and their relationship with their constituents should look like.
And I'll tell you what, there are members of Congress who will look you in the eye and will not lie to you about something that serious. And if this guy won't stand up and explain it to you and the people he represents, my neighbors in the Hudson Valley, well, I'm going to do it. I think every Republican who voted for this thing ought to have to stand in front of their voters and explain it. And if it takes a Democrat to go in and do it for them for a while, I'll explain what's in this bill, and if he doesn't like it, he should stand up and explain it himself. I mean, I think we ought to get on offense on this, and maybe a Democrat ought to go into every district where a Republican who supported Trump care won't hold a town hall meeting, and do it for him. You know, sit in that chair and say, I'll stand here and answer your questions until your own congressman starts doing his job.
With the combination of the AHCA and the firing of Director Comey, things are starting to heat up in the resistance. Some featured events this week include Tuesday, May 16th, join the Wisconsin Resistance Group coordinators as they visit Jim Sensenbrenner's office in Brookfield, Wisconsin at 4 p.m. to discuss immigration reform. Thursday, May 18th, Democracy Rocks in Rock County is hosting a presentation on effective organizing at 6:30 p.m. in Beloit at Bushel and Peck's local market. Saturday, May 20th, Fawn Fox Valley is hosting an informational session on immigration and refugees with World Relief Fox Valley at 10 a.m. at the Menasha Public Library. And make sure you pass the word along about the Rally for Truth coming up in Madison on June 3rd. Until next week, this is Sarah Lou with your weekly breakdown. We welcome comments and suggestions from our viewers. If you would like your event featured on the show, email us at wiprogressivealliance@gmail.com. Everyone stay safe, resist, persist, and keep moving forward.
If the wall it goes up and the country comes down.